Right. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yay, we are live. Let's go ahead and hit this record button. Good morning and welcome to the Greater Self Freedom Tea Talk with Dr. Z. Good morning on IG and the Facebooks and the LinkedIns and all the places. Thank you guys for joining us this lovely morning. We are literally down to our last couple of days of September of 2023. I think it's so interesting that every year, as the year keeps going by, we're always like, oh my gosh, we're like into the last part of this year, or things are going by so quick and so fast. And it happens literally every single year. And yet, here we are saying the same things over and over again. We're at the end of the year. This is technically the end of the third quarter. So we're about to jump into fourth quarter, literally within the next couple of days. So if you've had any plans or things that you've been working on for the end of your year of how you want to close out 2023, how you want to even go about setting up for 2024, I am definitely sharing today some different things and ways to go about doing that, as well as just kind of taking a little inventory of what's been happening this past year for ourselves and what we've been doing over here at Greater Self. So I'm starting with this past weekend and week for that matter, because they all come together and things are culminating and like happening. Last weekend, I jumped back into being a vendor at live events for other folks. So supporting other people's visions of how to collaboratively work together, have common goals, be able to show up, show out, and share different experiences together, as well as creating experiences for the people that we're inviting to the events. So Saturday, and I'm going Saturday, Sunday, and then going back to the rest of the week. Saturday, I had the opportunity to participate in a wellness market that, if you are in the Los Angeles area or familiar with it, the location of this particular market, I can honestly say, I think I've only been to that area once in my life before, like years ago when I was coaching cheerleading to go to a game. Hey, Isis, that's my friend. And we went there for, hey, I see you on IG, Mr. Crane. We went there for, I think it was like a basketball game, but since I was a cheerleading coach, like clearly we had to be there. So we went this Saturday. I went. This mission was a solo one, and got to be around a bunch of really awesome, dope people and just have good energy around me. And I don't know about you all, but if you ever want somebody to buy food at a market, invite me. Apparently, I have zero filter, no chill. I'm eating all the stuff. I'm spending all the money on all the food because I just ate. Once I settled in, I just ate the whole rest of the day. So heard good music. There were great people like sharing yoga, dance, step, different singing things. Like there's just so much that went on just within those few hours. And I was concerned, like, I'm going to be here for like 7 or 8 hours. They went by so incredibly fast because there were so many great people there, and having the opportunity to connect with the new community since I've migrated and located to a new area. Some of the folks, and I feel very fortunate to be able to sit here now and sip on some new tea that I got from one of the lovelies there at Sister Nature Tea. And then I got to drop a little sea moss in there. I think it's Sea Moss Mother or Mother Sea Moss. I don't remember exactly. But because I was there, I had the opportunity to not only show up and hold space, but to be able to support other entrepreneurs and just soak in how they do what they do and how there's collaborations can be made. Sunday, going to, and I wrote it down so I don't mess it up, your best self blueprint, or your best self, like one of my peers in a coaching cohort, we were able to, she was hosting a nice, awesome workshop, which was a really great turnout, and invited all of us lovely vendors to be able to come and just share the things that we have and be able to speak to each other and participate collaboratively and looking at how we want to set up the blueprint for our own best lives. So of course, their topic was very similar to my business. So I felt like, why wouldn't I be there? It just makes sense. And being able to share a little bit more about feminine energy and what that looks like, how it shows up, how it's going, and ways to notice when you're in your masculine, which is usually about where most of us are at when we're going, doing, and taking the time to notice, what does that look like on our bodies? How is that impacting us? Are our bodies saying, heck yes, I'm here for all of it? Or are they giving us signals and gentle little nudges like, hey, it's totally cool if we slow down. I know you want to keep doing all the things. You want to meet all the people. You want to do the workouts. You want to eat the food, but some of these things aren't working for us. They're not lining up. Can you take a little chill? And that might show up. And this is where that kind of body culmination component is coming in, where, and I'll just speak to my things that I've noticed most recently, and stuff that when we don't pay attention, people find themselves at doctors' offices or getting diagnosis for things because they got so used to a particular way of functioning and thought it was normal, it was regular. If you're in a space where you're having like heartburn or indigestion, or you get sick after you eat, or things like that, or you find yourself like always tired or not able to sleep, or constantly with the frequent thoughts just running, your body is trying to tell you something's not okay. We need you to do something different. It'd be really cool if you do it like right now, but since you didn't listen to the other hints that we were giving you, we're going to keep intensifying and getting bigger and bigger in our ways of trying to speak to you so that you can do something different. Oh, hey, I see from LinkedIn too. Sorry, just quick sip over someone. Oh, owner of Sipping Streams Tea Company. Cool. I will check you guys out. Send me a message. Hit me in the DMs, as they say. But our bodies will give us a lot of clues and hints. And we typically, the average person, until something major happens, that's almost like until we fuck around and find out, we just keep doing stuff, keep showing up, keep doing what we've been doing, and just making adjustments. If you guys have ever had an old car, you may notice when you might have first gotten it, heaven forbid it was used already, the previous owner would be like, okay, you have to like roll, and this is dating myself, which I don't mind, but when all the windows only rolled up and down, they were like, okay, you can't crank down the driver's side window. So if you go to drive-throughs, you got to go through the back window or just open your door, because if you roll it down, it might get stuck and you have to like slide it up. You get used to it. You don't go through drive-throughs as frequently. You maybe stop trying to get people to hand you stuff through the window and just open the door so they already know what it is. You put people in the back seat so they can grab the stuff. You go through drive-throughs where it's on the other side of the car, but you make all these adjustments and you just learn how to deal with it because you're not going to buy a new car. Over time, other things start to happen. If you can drive stick shift, and it's a lot of fun to me, everybody can, whatever, it's your preference. You start to notice, and it's not with the left hand, but because my tea is in my hand, I'm gonna have to demonstrate on the other side. But you get to a point where you are trying to shift gears and you realize you got to jiggle and wiggle super, super hard to get it out of first and like crank it in the second really fast and hit 3. And if you're doing all these things and making all these adjustments, and if this is just what's happening with the car so you can get to and from locations, imagine what we're doing to our bodies when we're like, oh, I just feel a minor headache. Let me pop a Tylenol. Oh, my stomach feels a little messed up. Let me just go ahead and get I don't know if it's a Tums or I don't know, whatever the thingies are. But you start making all these adjustments and ways to keep going instead of stopping and evaluating what is actually happening. And is there another way that I can go about getting some healing into my body, getting into a space of doing something that's going to be really supportive to me long-term, instead of trying to mask this immediate perceivable pain that's happening. So, okay, I have a headache. Let me pop a pill. I feel a little pain. Let me rub a little oil or Bengay on that body part. So that way I don't feel the pain, instead of taking a step back and saying, let me maybe schedule appointments with other professionals that may be able to give me a little more insight into what's going on or why, and start documenting this process so that you have your own chain of events that is happening within your body so that you can know what is or isn't regular for you. Like, do you have certain pains or things happen when you're doing just a particular activity? And if so, now you know that because you're documenting what's happening with your body to know, all right, if I eat a whole bunch of cheese and you're lactose intolerant, I'm going to be messed up later. Knowing that allows you to choose to not do it anymore, or notice that when you do, there's a whole list of things that's going to happen that's not going to be comfortable, and it can be lasting for multiple days. But if you don't start to take the time to notice what's happening with your body and checking your patterns, the way your body functions, you end up missing it. And you can get to a point where you miss so much that, maybe similar to me, you keep working out super, super hard and thinking, oh, clearly this is I'm supposed to feel this way. And then find out, no, you're out here like pulling muscles and really hurting yourself. Imagine in the midst of trying to make a better version of you, and you're actively working against it because you're not listening to the cues that your body is giving you. Just take that in for a moment. You're trying to do something better for yourself and something isn't working. And instead of taking a step back and seeing what can be changed or different, you keep doing more of it because everyone else said it's supposed to work. But you may not have that same reaction. You might need to do something different. There may be a huge benefit in you not doing that thing, whatever it is, altogether. There also can be a difference in looking at the seasons and how you set your body up for success per each season. Most people are about to start the memes now, start getting your summer body ready in the winter, which, while it might be a meme, it's totally accurate. The folks that are putting in work during this fourth quarter into the first quarter of the next year are the folks that you're going to see out here exposed all summer long, spring and summer, because they put the work in and they cycled through how they need to take care of their body to be able to get the results they're looking for by a specific point in time, to wear the clothes, feel the confidence, whatever the things are they're working towards. But there's different things that their body is in need of per those different seasons to be able to show up in different ways. Depending on where you live at, there's also other things you need to take into consideration with your body that is going to make a very huge difference. If you live in a place where it really does get cold and it snows and there's ice and hailstorms and all the things, you're not going to be doing the same stuff that someone that lives on the West Coast or in California or like along a coast or beach line. They're not going to be doing the same things. They don't need to prepare their bodies the same way for the weather outside, for the season that they're entering into. So there's a preparation of how are you going to manage environmentally what you've got going on, and then how do you manage what you need internally to be successful in those different ones. So there's the seasons of what's happening literally outside. There's the seasons of what it is you're creating with your body. And then those clues or indicators when things are not working that can give you the opportunity to make adjustments, to seek additional help and support. So you're in a place where you can really show up as the greatest version of yourself intentionally, and you know who to reach out to. Running it back to last week, a peer of mine, Rita, she has been helping people like crush their weight loss mindsets, blocks and barriers, and actually creating the physical life that they want. But it starts within their mind. It's not even starting just like, okay, go do these things, eat these foods, but being able to look at, what would it mean to me to even get to this point physically? How would I feel? What would I look like once I feel that particular way? And how can I embody that now so that you can start to get into that process as already done, that you can show up physically how you want to. You can start to notice more quickly when something's not working, so you can make adjustments and changes to how you're doing you and how you're using your body to get to that next version of you. Believe the deadline to sign up if you are interested, because it's not for everybody. But the Shift Weight Mastery process, I believe, is starting September 28th. So it is led, like I said, by my girl, Rita Black. I'll be joining in this next cycle too. So just know that I'm not just talking about it and sharing what other people have going on. I'm also putting myself in the space to be able to show up too, and using my peer. We are on the same level if you just go look at stuff on paper, but I'm aware that she has an expertise in an area that I don't have an expertise in. I have not dedicated as much time, attention, training, and research to, and she has, and it can be supported to me as next year, who knows, I might be out here on these beaches even more and might even embody a version of a bathing suit I've never done before. Don't know yet. But what I do know is I'm definitely going to be working with her on this next cycle, on this next round, and looking at how I can go about shifting my own blocks physically and allowing another professional to guide me through it. Yes, she's a therapist. I'm a therapist. Yes, she actually does hypnotherapy, which I don't do. So this is where that separation starts to begin, where I'm seeking someone that does know more than me in an area, that is an expert in something that I don't have an expertise in, and allowing them to guide me through the process. I will be just as new and green as any and everyone else. Oh, shoot. I think enrollment may be closing too, like tonight. So if you were going to join me, definitely go find those links. And I know that we posted them all over, and maybe we'll be sharing another post again to just remind you all. If you're on my email list and you already are getting access to this info, if you're not on my email list, just know that you're missing out on great information. So whatever you're getting from here, there's more that comes out. There's replays, there's other special info that I send just to the people that were willing to exchange their contact information with me. My gift to you is on Freedom Fridays. You get access to some more tips to help you be free by 5, as well as just looking at, all right, what are some other ways I can totally be embodying the greatest version of myself this week, this weekend, this day, even in this minute, and doing it. Having just those helpful reminders, because most of the time we know all the answers that we ever needed to know, and we just could truly benefit from having someone else point it out, to give us the support, to give us the reminder, and just say, hey, if you don't eat all the cake, you won't feel like you ate all the cake. And I know that sounds like, and again, I'm being specific because I really like cake. Like, just in case anybody wanted to know, cake and donuts, real simple, plain ones, not all the extra stuff. It's too much. Sometimes you need somebody to just remind you that you don't need all of it. A little bit will be sufficient. And then learning how to shift your mindset so that you can be in a position to enjoy smaller increments of something that you do find pleasurable, so it doesn't get to a space of a gluttonous point, which then coming back to your body's like, oh my God, this is horrible. Kind of like when you stay up all night long and you're having a great time, and then you have to wake up early in the morning, you're like, why did I do this to myself? This was like one of the worst decisions ever. And it wasn't the worst. It just might not have been the most helpful at that point in time. So giving yourself permission to check in with your body, see what it's needing, see what things are you making adjustments for. Are you like giving a little kickstand to how you're taking care of your body? And if you are, maybe it's a good time to go ahead and check out, because I think open enrollments for like some people's insurances and stuff might be switching and changing. Like, go sign up with the doctor. Make sure that when January hits, like, you know where you're at physically, so that you can shift and change how you need to go about doing life, so you can show up how you want to, and your body will be able to support you in doing so. And looking at, for this particular season environmentally and season of where you're at in your life, what do I want to accomplish? How do I want to go about it? Who can I connect with? And what will be supportive for me in this moment, so that I can literally, like, all this physical part be how I want to be. I might even be checking with the dermatologist. It might be, I don't know, going to the eye doctor, going to the dentist, like take care of, those teeth, like whoever it is you need to connect with. This is your permission slip. Go ahead. It's signed. Go take care of you. Go check out who you need to check in with to make sure you're good, and sign up for who's going to be helping you next physically, so that you can mentally actually show up the way you need to. It's hard to do your job if you're in pain, or you're constantly trying to figure out how to avoid being in pain. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me just check my notes real quick and make sure I cleared everything I wanted to share with you all today. There was a little bit more but I'm going to save it until next week as we bring in a new month and start to look at things like different laws of just functioning and stuff. I know people know about laws of attraction, and there's more than that. There's more than that, and there's more ways to go about looking at things that can help you know when you're actually in alignment with what's working best for you, and you're embodying that version of self-care that is you embracing your feminine energy and giving a little bit of a rest to that masculine and allowing other people to show up for you so you can show up for them and the best version of yourself. So the next month, let's see. I'm not going to be a spoiler today and share all the things, but just know, sign up for the email list so that you can totally be in the know of what's coming up. You can send us an email at info@greaterself.org. You can also text us at 626-722-5661. So that way you get access to all our emails, all the things that are going on in the background that I don't even talk about and only happens in the inboxes, as well as being able to get dibs on things coming up and having access to it before other people do. And I won't call it discounts, but appreciation for you being willing to just listen and show up anyways. October is going to look a little interesting, and it's going to be a great setup for what I can tell you is happening in November, which annual, I think this will be the third annual Veterans Day yoga class. This year it will be in person. It will be live. So I will be sharing my gift of yoga and how I do what I do live in person. We'll be in California. In December, we'll be doing the second annual, reclamation retreat. And that will also be live and in Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure at this point. Who knows? Maybe in Texas. I don't know yet. But it will be live, and there will be an opportunity to join and participate and definitely take advantage of some appreciation beforehand by getting signed up early on the list, as well as some other things. And you'll be seeing those coming out about October. There'll be another summit on the way. So be looking forward to some of our past speakers, some new speakers, and just all the awesomeness that's going to come with that and what's rolling out right behind it. So if you guys have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, feel free to shoot those to us. We'll be more than happy to answer them. If you've got any topics or things you'd like me to discuss or share about, I'm here for it. And I look forward to seeing y'all next Tuesday. So hopefully y'all have a great rest of your day.